So yeah, I just don't feel like I belong. Like, I just always feel like an outsider.
I have a fix for you.
Yeah?
Like this.
No!
And die.
Oh, you have no honor.
Okay, so I am Dishonored, and this is the death of Outsider. This is a stealth FPS that combines both fantasy and steampunk elements.
The story is you play Billie Lurk, who is reunited with your old assassin mentor Daud, and together you decide that you are going to take out the Outsider, who, unlike me in the introduction, is an extremely powerful, almost demigod-like figure in the Dishonored universe that Billie and Daud consider to be responsible for the worst offenses of the previous two games.
And right from the beginning, you get 3 new skills that are new to this one, and it is a Displace, Foresight, and a Semblance.
What does that mean, Michal?
Displace is basically like from the first one, it's a like teleport skill, but you can actually see before you leave where to land. Foresight is where you pause a time and you fly over the place and you mark enemies and you can basically see before you enter the room.
That's useful.
And Semblance is that you steal a face and...
Very useful for an assassin.
Yeah. And what's very useful that for all these skills, the energy refills automatically, so you don't need to care about finding a potions to refill that. So that's quite useful.
So that moves things forward a little bit faster. And yeah, it's since you don't have to worry about where you're going to get the energy, I found that then you're able to kind of experiment more and be more aggressive, which is good because in previous games, kind of the signature element of Dishonored is the choice between a lethal and non-lethal playthroughs.
You have it still here.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything about the world. If you're more aggressive and more lethal, it doesn't mean you're going to have more enemies or have a different ending to the story later on, which decreases the replayability and the challenge, I would say, but it does mean it's more fast-paced and you can just kind of have fun and not worry about how you're playing.
I might already disagree about that because there's a new game plus with abilities from Dishonored 2, so there is some replayability.
Fair enough, but not trying to... Like when I finished Dishonored 1, I was thinking, okay, I would replay the entire game trying to have a completely different playstyle.
It is more linear than the predecessor.
Yeah, which means since you'll probably be tempted to be more aggressive and be a bit more hack and slash, and you don't need to worry about like finding potions for your energy, the whole game over 5 chapters is probably going to take you about 7 or 8 hours and maybe 10 hours if you really try to 100% it. So this is not a full standalone Dishonored game. It's basically a standalone DLC.
This actually officially continues the story of Dishonored 2 and it's just really standalone. But these 5 missions are huge and they're beautiful. But overall, the question is, should you play it?
But first, you should know that this game is going to be completely free to claim and keep from the Epic Game Store the week starting February 2nd, 2023. And if you claim it during that time, you can install it whenever you want. It's yours forever. And that is what we do on this channel. We play and review every free weekly game from the Epic Game Store. So subscribe so you never have to be bored ever again.
Caleb, we both played the first game.
We did.
Finished, and the second...
We have a review of it.
Yeah, second one we played a bit, and I think it's quite clear to everyone who loves this series that it's easiest for them because this is just more content in a great similar way. Maybe not the best content from all this series, maybe not the best locations, but still good enough to play, and
especially when it's free.
Little new blood, especially if it's free. So it's definitely yes if you haven't played it. But what about if you have less experience with the game?
I would actually say that this might be a great way to get introduced to the Dishonored franchise.
Even though it continues the story.
Yeah, the story, you don't need to know about the previous stories, but it helps a lot. The significance, especially with the Outsider and all of this, the story will feel more significant if you know the previous games. But the gameplay is less challenging and less difficult.
True.
You can just kind of run through it. It's a lot of fun. You just kill the guards in these creative ways, and you don't have to worry too much about being lethal or non-lethal, about recharging your energy. So it's a more streamlined, fun combat steampunk experience. So maybe playing it first and then taking the more challenging mechanics of the earlier games could be a way to do it. Either way, this one is a little bit different for all the reasons we said, but it's still a lot of fun. It's a great world, and it's free. So yes, this is definitely a game that is worth installing and worth giving it a try.
It is free at least for 1 week, so if you already missed it, it is too bad, but you might not miss the other games, so consider subscribing so you don't miss any other free game. That's what this channel is all about.
And if you are thinking of starting this series from the beginning and maybe buying Dishonored because it's pretty cheap usually these days, we have a full review of that game as well right up here somewhere. Check that out, and we will see you in another video.
See you.
Bye.